Welcome, everybody. Here to do just a quick little review. I just got out of the theater about an hour ago from seeing the new horror movie Hard Eyes, and had some thoughts and figured I'd go ahead and just share some of them. One, it's interesting that we've had now two counter programming movies to holidays. In Christmas time, we got Nosferatu actually dropping on Christmas Day, and now pre-Valentine's Day, we have a Valentine's Day horror movie. Hard Eyes is interesting because it drew a lot of parallels to some other movies. One in general, the mask is very close to what was used by the Collector in the Collector and the Collection, with a little bit of the color looking like Dr. Decker from Nightbreed. If you haven't seen Nightbreed, uh, man, that killer's mask is fucking crazy. It's I think they call him like Button Face or something like that. I can't remember, but um, it's creepy as fuck. So we start out this movie with a proposal going down, and it's one of those, we're doing it for the internet, we're filming it and everything, and the killer strolls up, and right away I was like, oh cool, it's using something I haven't seen very often, a crossbow gun, um, with little expandable arrows that were mechanical that would pop out. Looked a little bit like something Huntress would use in Birds of Prey. Also had throwing knives and a giant machete. I think it was machete. I'm not 100% clear. Also, the hard eyes on the mask would become night vision with big light up hearts. The opening kill was actually pretty gory. It had some of the dumb chase scenes that you'd expect. And then the movie weirdly becomes another movie after the opening. It's weird. They integrated what I would consider to be a rom-com, meet cute, will they, won't they type of movies with a slasher film. The two main actors, Olivia Holt, who was in the ill-fated Cloak and Dagger Marvel TV show, and she was also in Totally Killer, which was a generic horror movie. I want to say it was based in the 80s or maybe 90s. I can't remember. I watched it on like Tubi really late at night one night. And then the main love interest was Randy Meek's nephew in Scream 5 and 6. And they're having him be the very suave love interest who's also kind of clumsy. And most of the movie is then with the will they, won't they. There are some funny gags in this. Jordana Brewster is in the movie as one of the cops with Devon Sawa, and they are Hobbs and Shaw, which they call out, and they're like, Hobbs and Shaw, like the movie? And Jordana Brewster is like, I don't know what you're talking about. So they kind of play that off. So the kills in this movie are not terrible. It's weird how they interject them, but the one thing I did like about this is the Hard Eyes Killer, HEK, has been happening for a while and going from city to city. So the country at large is aware of the killer and only basically kills people, couples, and people getting engaged during Valentine's time. So it's themed, but it's not like it's just randomly happening this one time. It's been going from coast to coast. And in this case, it's in Seattle. The movie had a little bit of the sarcasm and cynicism of Scream and like Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. It was an interesting take. It had misdirections. I will say that, like, if you looked on IMDb, the killer is not listed in the IMDb. Just one of those things that's on there, and it's got a couple of misdirects. At certain times, they will make you think that it is one person, and then they'll make you go jump to think it's another person. There is an interesting scene that takes place at a not a carnival, but one of the, maybe it is a carnival, but it has the horse rides where the carousel, um, some decent chase scenes through the city. Um, the killer is not infallible. Tends to get fucked up quite a bit and beat on. One of the more interesting scenes in the movie with the most carnage is at a drive-in theater, and it reminded me so much of Jason going through the cornfield rave at in Freddy versus Jason, with just the amount of people that died and the carnage, and certain action scenes in it seemed very close to that. It was an interesting movie. I think it'll do well because of the counter programming versus your rom-com movies, and it has just enough of the rom-com stuff in it where I think if you took a non-horror movie fan to see it, they'd be into the cutesy meet cute shit in it. I was torn. I kept going kind of back and forth. There is an after credit scene in here that harkens to the beginning of the movie, and it's an interesting little redirect. Again, kill scenes. There were some decent ones that I thought they could have done a little more with, but they kept it right in that little wheelhouse of not too gory, but also not something that was going to piss off a horror fan with them being a little bit too easy on it. The director, Josh Rubin, hadn't done a whole lot. The writers did Freaky, and I forget what the other movie was. Pardon me while I IMDb this real quick. I didn't get. So the writers, Philip Murphy, who wrote The Expendables 4, Hitman's Bodyguard. Not a great one. And then Christopher Landon, who wrote Freaky, Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones, and Happy Death Day to You. So, and it very much reminded me a little bit of Happy Death Day because of how kind of sarcastic and cynical the movie was, and the little sprinkling of romance, but even though the romance it sometimes just kind of was so clumsy and irritating. When you watch it, you'll understand, like, they kind of pull the string a little too much on it. If I were to mark this at a 5, it's probably somewhere close to a 3. It was entertaining enough that it kept you interested, and the runtime was short. It was just a little bit over an hour and a half, barely that. So it kept moving and moving. Acting was not what I'd call fantastic, but for this kind of movie, it really doesn't have to be. The romance, again, with certain points was insufferable, but I think it kind of knows, it's very self-aware of what it is and what they're goofing on. Like, pretty much at times, I'm pretty sure they were making fun of some of those old jewelry commercials. And our main antagonist, or actually protagonist, Amy, she is a marketer for a jewelry company, and she fails miserably doing a themed campaign for the jewelry company where just all the lovers are dying, and they realize that the Hard Eyes killer is in Seattle, and basically she's in danger of losing her job. So yeah, I'm thinking about like a 3 out of 5. Like, it was decent enough. I didn't find myself trying to check my phone during the movie theater. It was me and one other person in the theater at 10:45 in the morning, so that kind of tells you a bit of thoughts on it. It was a very weird theater experience because I've never had to go check in my online ticket at the concession stand before a new theater chain took over my local theater chain, and it was a very underwhelming experience. There was no ticket booth open. The concession stand kind of was there opening. Very unprepared. very, very unprepared. And yeah, we'll see how this goes when they actually have some bigger movies, or if I go to like a nighttime showing anytime soon to see. Hopefully that there's more to it. Uh, yeah, Hard Eyes, interesting, flawed, but I'd say if you're looking for something to check out and you just want to see some gore and a somewhat interesting premise play out a little clumsily, this might be the movie for you. I don't think we have any other horror movies starting anytime too soon. I did see some people talking about Captain America, New World Order. So we'll also see how that plays out. Hearing the opening scene was very good. But till next time, take care. Thank you, and share, comment. Make sure you subscribe. Fuck, like I could use it. I mean, I'm only at 521. Very, very slowly. Another 5 years, I might hit that 1,000. I might. But until next time, bye all.